Um, like and subscribe, and I will never invade your privacy or capitalize upon your content. Do you like my outfit? I'm auditioning for Oklahoma. LGBT representation in media. Like, I was watching this one pop star who I've always been a huge fan of. She writes cool music. It's different than what most people write. It has a lot of artistic merit to it. And then she was using like flyboys, like gay flyboys, like gay, voguing flyboys. And I was like, oh, grown, here we go again. I don't know. When do the flyboys get to be the divas? Right? When do the LGBT people get to be front and center? It's very rare. Euphoria is one of the only shows that I can think of that is where the main character was a lesbian, right? Bisexual lesbian girl, I think lesbian, who also was into a trans girl. That is the only show that has that representation. I would want to turn around and say, like, well, when's a trans girl going to get to be front and center versus the cis girl? That's true too. That's true too. Right? But in the case of Euphoria, you have I think that her character is lesbian. A lesbian girl who is, like, has a thing going on with a trans girl. And then who may be becoming a trans man. It's just like, too, like when, like, LGBT people are very creative. If being part of that spectrum is a genetic thing, there's conversely also a lot of creativity there. There are so many, like, gay men out there who are and lesbians, like gay men and lesbians who are writing songs, writing films and whatnot, or writing choreography and all of that, right? And we always do the exact same thing. We take a cis girl, who's got all the curves in the right place. We put her face on it. She can't be over 30. We put her face on it, right? And then some rich white dude walks along, orchestrates the whole thing, and pockets the money. You get some LGBT gay dude or lesbian who created this content, vastly influenced the content, and some straight white cis dude comes along, straight white cis hetero dude comes along and pockets the money, and pimps out the cis straight girl. Like, if you can say, well, there's other examples of LGBT icons. Look at Tattoo. Like, Tattoo is clearly a, like, male fantasy of what two teenage lesbians in schoolgirl outfits should be. Clearly. Right? You could say, well, we had Ricky Martin, right? But nobody knew Ricky Martin was gay. Ricky Martin came out much later. Like, I think Elton John came out much later. Freddie Mercury came out much later. So forth and so forth and so forth. A lot of lesbians don't come out, right? A lot of lesbians don't come out. I can't blame them. Even in workplaces, you'll have the one gay dude who came out, right? But there's an aspect of male privilege to that, right? So you will get the lesbian or the bi girl who just kind of keeps her mouth shut. I don't know. It's kind of a really sad state of affairs. This is part of the reason why I like Jeffree Star. I would own more Jeffree Star makeup, but I just don't have the cash for it, right? Like, I'm drugstore brand girl, because I like the most I typically pay for mascara is maybe like $4.50 CDN, right? You know, like I'm not saying that Jeffree Star makeup isn't worth the quality, or I mean, you buy a Jeffree Star palette and you get cake like that of makeup. That's a lot of eyeshadow. You know, like he fills his products up to the brim. You know, you get what you pay for, and you get variety in a Jeffree Star palette, for example. You know, and one of the great things about Jeffree Star is that like Jeffree Star will have all of these. Jeffree Star is like a household brand name, right? Jeffree Star made his way through by doing makeup and selling makeup, right, and etched his way into becoming like a household brand name. You know, and made and was LGBT. I don't know that he's LGBT friendly, but he's the only gay man I know who was just like, I'm a gay dude. This is my makeup, right? I mean, conversely, there's other gay dudes like Bears and whatnot who don't have really anything to do with that. That, you know, you have different breeds of gay men, obviously, but Jeffree Star is one that kind of like stole the spotlight and did it through something very commonplace like makeup, you know. And Jeffree Star makes good stuff. I've bought some of this stuff in the past. I have the mirror. I just don't have it on me right now. But you know, Jeffree Star is one of those like gay, flamboyant gay success stories. You know, where are the rest of them? Right? When do we get like a flamboyantly gay male diva pop star who doesn't have to be closeted first before they come out? You know, you look at someone like, I don't know that Lil Nas is gay. I think he's probably just queer baiting us. I mean, queer baiting is another thing too, right? Like you get all these like cisgendered, heterosexual, you know, pop stars who get to be in the spotlight because they are cisgendered, heterosexual pop stars, and then because LGBT becomes popular, they get to queerbait people. You know, they're kind of like, okay, I'll be a little pansy for the money. It's kind of like gay for pay, which is a real thing. I don't comprehend it, but it's a real thing. I don't know, it just kind of sucks. It just kind of sucks. Like somebody could cite a few examples here and there or whatnot, but you know, there's no. I mean, but LGBT, and I get, you know, there's only so many gay men. There's only so many gay women. There's only so many like girls who transition. You know, you're talking about minorities to some degree. You know, like you really want to push the envelope on it, then it's kind of like all inclusive, but to some degree. I was watching I was sitting with a girl who was First Nations, Canadian First Nations, and a friend of mine at his place, and we were watching TV, and Bell Media came on with advertising a proud Indigenous woman, you know, in Canada, and like that's great, you know, but like, is it going to go the same way as like it is with the LGBT spectrum, where it's like you're going to knock the person down for trying or not trying, right? Or it's just you really don't care about the person or that spectrum, that demographic of people. You're just using that for your own PR. I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. But I assume it's probably just PR. I don't. You think in this day and age there would be a flamboyant gay Justin Bieber, you know, who came into the spotlight being a flamboyant gay Justin Bieber type, you know, and all kinds of teenage girls and teenage gay boys go nuts for him. But it's never happened. I don't know if it ever will happen. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you like, if you agree, you disagree, and I will never invade your privacy, capitalize upon the data and whatnot. And I'll never pimp you out. And on behalf of all gay flyboys backing up some cis heterosexual girl out there in the world, my sincerest apologies. You, the eternal plight,